Hello everyone, welcome back to ParsecGames and welcome back to another episode of our 5 Nights at Freddy's tutorial series. In this episode I'll be showing you how to code the Freddy AI, but before we get into it I just have a quick announcement to make, which is that a couple days ago we actually reached 2,000 subscribers, and so the official ParsecGames Discord server has come online. And if you want to just join it, feel free to do so. The link is down in the description. And if you want to be part of the 2,000 subscriber celebration livestream, I would definitely recommend you joining the server, because I might set up a Minecraft server and maybe you guys could actually join and we could just play some Minecraft together in the stream. I think that would be pretty fun actually. So if you want to join, the link is down in the description. But anyways, let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, so here we are in our project, and now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new sprite called Freddy, and this is going to control Freddy's AI. And it's actually, some parts of it are really similar to Bonnie's and Chica's AI, and some parts are completely unique to Freddy's own AI. But we're going to have a look at the Bonnie AI, and there's going to be some parts that we can actually reuse in Freddy, and some we'll have to do from scratch. So we can definitely copy this part right here. We're going to have to reproduce this part. I would like to copy it over here, but for some reason Scratch is bugging out again, so I'm going to have to do it by hand. When I receive start game, I'm going to make a new variable called Freddy timer, and we're going to set that to 0 at the beginning, and then just repeat forever, wait 0.1 seconds, and change Freddy timer by 0.1. And this part, which is for Bonnie's movement opportunity, is also going to be really similar with Freddy. So we're going to add in, when I receive start game, we can just duplicate that from over here. Repeat forever. Wait until Freddy timer is larger than, and this is going to be different from Bonnie's. Freddy's movement opportunity is actually more frequent with 3.02 seconds. And we're going to make a new variable called Freddy random. And we're going to set Freddy random to a random number between 1 and 20. And it's going to work the same way as with Bonnie and Chica, which is that we're going to check whether or not the Bonnie AI is equal to or higher than the random number that we picked. Freddy AI equals or is larger than Freddy random. If that's the case, we're going to get a Freddy movement opportunity. So we're going to make a new broadcast message, Freddy opportunity. I hope I spelled that correctly. Oh, I'm not sure. If I spelled that incorrectly, it's going to be really embarrassing. And of course, we're going to set the Freddy timer back to 0 at the end of that. And now I'm adding, as an afterthought, I just forgot to add it in, is that before we broadcast a Freddy opportunity, we're going to check whether Freddy is the last animatronic on the show stage. So we're going to check if item 2 of animatronics is not 1A, and also that item 3 of animatronics is also not 1A, like this. Because Freddy's only supposed to start moving after the other 2 animatronics have actually left the stage. Now, one major difference between Freddy and Bonnie and Chica is that Freddy, when he actually gets a movement opportunity, he won't actually move right away. Instead, he still waits a little longer actually. And the way this is going to work is that when I receive Freddy opportunity, it's going to wait, and it's going to be based on the Freddy AI level. And the formula is this one. $1,000 minus 100 times the Freddy AI divided by 60. That's how long he waits. And now we're going to have to check whether or not Freddy is already in room 4B. So we're going to check whether item 1 of animatronics equals 4B. That's going to be something different. But if Freddy's not in 4B, in that case, if we actually have the camera up at that moment, he will wait until we no longer have the camera up, and then he'll move. So after waiting, he will still wait until you don't have the camera up, and then he'll move. So we're going to check whether the camera is up. Camera up equals 1. Then he's going to wait until the camera is no longer up, so camera up equals 0, and then he'll actually move. And now we're going to broadcast Freddy move. And that's going to be a separate script, which we're going to start now. Freddy.move. Now the thing with Freddy is that the rooms that he chooses to go to actually aren't random. They're actually in a particular order, which is the show stage, then the party room in the middle, then the bathrooms, then the kitchen, and then he gets to the corridor and then to your to the corner of your office. So we're just gonna check if item 1 of animatronics equals, and I'm just gonna show the map if item 1 of animatronics, so if Freddy is in 1A, then he will move to 1B, and then we're gonna do that is we're gonna replace item 1 of animatronics with 1B. And if he's in 1B, he will move to room 7, which is the bathrooms. And if he's in 7, he will move to 6, which is the kitchen. And if he's in 6, he will move to 4A. And if he's in 4A, he will move to 4B, which is the corner. And now we're going to add if he's in 4B, and now his behavior is going to be a little different, because now he will check if you're looking at the camera, but not only that, he will also check if you're looking at him specifically, so at room 4B. So let's add that in here. Camera select, menu select 4B. He will check if that's the case, and if that's the case, he will go back to 4A and cause camera problems. And if that's not the case, we're going to have to actually add in an if else. So if that's the case, he will just stop his attack and go back to 4A, causing camera problems on the way because you're actually looking at him, so he has to disable your camera for him to move. And if that's not the case, he will check if your right door is closed. So we're going to add that in. If else, item 1, letter 1 of right button. So if letter 1 of right button equals 1, that means the door is closed. And in that case, he will do the same as he did up here. And if not, he will actually go into your office. And now we're going to add when Freddy is in your office, he will wait until your camera is down. So camera up equals 0. And then he will actually go into a forever loop in which there will always be a 25% chance of him attacking. So we're going to create an if clause. And it's going to pick a random number between 1 and 4. And if that equals 1, meaning there's going to be a 25% chance of that happening, then he'll actually attack. So we're going to send out broadcast Freddy.jumpscare. And now what we're also going to add is we're going to stop the other scripts which Freddy has as soon as he's in your office, because then this part over here is no longer needed. And that's how Freddy gets into your office and is about to jump scare you. And now what we shouldn't forget to add, which I'm adding as an afterthought now, but you can just add it right as you're doing this part, is that whenever Freddy moves, he actually plays a little sound effect of like a distorted laughing. So we're just going to import that, which is going to be in the Golden Freddy folder by accident. This is actually supposed to be Freddy's laughs, but they're for some reason in the Golden Freddy folder. And the first one is going to be incorrect, because this is Golden Freddy's sound, but the other 3 are Freddy's sounds. Yep. And And so we're just gonna add in start sound, pick random between 1 and 3, and we're gonna add this whenever Freddy actually moves. Okay, and we're gonna add the jump scare in just a moment. So for that, we're gonna just create a new sprite called Freddy _jumpscare. And now we're gonna import all the frames for that jump scare. And now make sure to sort them by name and import them. So that they're in the correct order. And now a curious thing about these is that actually the last few frames, the last 2, are actually the first 2. So we're just going to delete these 2 because we don't really need them. And so we have the animation starting at frame 490 and going up to 518. So we're going to add when the flag is clicked. This is obviously going to hide because we don't need it. And when it receives Freddy jump scare, it's going to go to the middle of the screen. It's going to show itself, go to the front layer, and switch to costume 490, and then repeat 27 times. Next costume, let's try that out. And as you can see, 27 is actually 1 too much. I just didn't count correctly. 26 is actually the correct amount. That's it. And we're also going to resize it to 150%. And that's that. Now we're also going to add the sound effect which we need for the jump scare, which is in here, X scream. Yep, sorry for ear raping you. And that's going to play over here. Gonna set the volume to 100 at the beginning of that, set it to 0 at the end of the animation, and broadcast death screen. And obviously hide itself. And that should be it. Let's try it out. Careful with your ears. Yep, so that seemed to work. And now one thing we never did is actually we only have the first 3 night screens. So we're gonna have to import the rest of them, which are going to be in textures, night loading screens. It's going to be these couple ones. Now once again we have to edit them a little bit, so rename them to the appropriate night. Put them in order, and now we're going to have to fill them out with black, like this. Just replace the gray parts with black. Okay, and what we also need to add is in the general AI script, which is that on night 6, the AI levels are going to be as follows. Bonnie is going to be at 10, Chica at 12, Freddy at 4, and Foxy at 6. And don't forget to put in 6 instead of 5 over here. And now we're also going to add in the sounds that Freddy plays when he's in the kitchen, which is the Theodore March, I believe. And we're going to add this into some sprite that hasn't handled any sounds yet, which is going to be sprite 2, which is the night counter in the top right corner. I'm just going to put this in here because this is the first sprite I found that doesn't have any sound so far, and I don't want to interfere with any other sound effects. So we're just going to use this one. So we're going to upload a sound from the sounds folder, which is going to be sounds, animatronics, Freddy, and then the music box. And gonna add in when I start game, set volume to 0, and forever play that sound until it's done. And we're also gonna add forever wait until item 1 of animatronics equals 6. Meaning Freddy's in the kitchen. And we're gonna add in a new variable called Freddy underscore kitchen volume, which is gonna be for this sprite only. And that's gonna be also be set to 0 at that point over here. And now when that happens, when Freddy enters the kitchen, we're gonna repeat 10 times change Freddy kitchen volume by 10. And then we're going to wait until that's no longer the case, so Freddy has actually left the kitchen. And we're going to reduce it by 10 once again so that it's back at 0. And now we're also going to add forever if the camera is up and we're looking at the kitchen camera, meaning camera up equals 1 and camera menu select equals 6. We're going to set the volume of this sprite to Freddy kitchen volume multiplied by 0.8 because we don't want to have it too loud even if you're looking at him directly. And then if the camera's up but we're not looking at camera 6, it's going to be at Freddy kitchen volume multiplied by 0.5, and if the camera's not up, it's going to be 0.3. So that way, if we're looking directly at the kitchen camera, it's going to be a lot louder than if you're just having the cameras open, and that's even going to be louder than if you have the camera lowered, if you're just looking at the office. So now I've manually set the current night variable to 6, and we're just going to test it out. So it says night 6 right here. None of them have moved yet. And we're just going to quickly fix this part right here, which is bothering me, that the night counter is behind the door. Which we're going to fix by adding in... Chica has moved, but we're going to still fix that by adding in go to front over here. And as you could hear, Freddy has actually moved and should be in the party room, but you actually can't see him because because Bonnie is also in there. So we're just gonna wait for Bonnie to move, and then we should be able to see the two eyes of Freddy's. Now Chica's in here. Okay, where's Bonnie? Oh, these are looking at me. That's scary. Okay, camera's not working. Okay, camera deactivated once again. Let's have a look. So Chica's over there. I'm just gonna actually display the... I hope Bonnie's not in the door. No. I'm actually just gonna display the animatronics list. So Freddy just moved to the bathroom, and we should be able to see his eyes there. Yep, there he is. Okay. And Bonnie's in the hallway right now, and Chica is in the party room. Okay. Camera disabled once again. Okay, so now Bonnie and Chica are both in 1B, and Freddy's still in 7. Okay. Now Freddy's in the kitchen, and he's playing the sounds as he's supposed to. Bonnie's coming closer. Freddy's still playing his music in the kitchen. Okay, he's moved again into 4A. Yep, there we see him. Okay, Freddy's now in 4B. And we're just gonna lower the camera, or we're just gonna look at a different camera so that he'll be able to jump scare us. So he should be able to get into the office in a moment. So it's taking Freddy a bit of time to get into the office, but then he should be able to get in here because I have the door open. Yep, now he's in the office, and if I lower the camera, he's gonna jump scare me in a little bit. Let's see, just a moment. And now on his next movement opportunity, he will wait until I lower the camera and then jump scare me after a little bit of time has passed. And we should add in here actually, stop this script right after the broadcast Freddy jump scare in here. Yep. Okay, you got me because I lowered the camera. Okay, so The jump scare definitely worked. Freddy killing me definitely worked. And as I could see, Freddy's AI did work now. And that's it for today's episode. We have Freddy's AI right now. If you're having any problems with your project, you can either comment down below, or better yet, join the Discord server. Because on the Discord server, there's already been a couple people who have told me about problems that they've had, and I could actually interact with them directly and actually text them directly with their problem and help them with it. So I definitely recommend checking out the server or even joining it, and I hope to see you in the next episode.